Yes. What's happening, people? Back again with another one. Hustle Smart here.
What's going on, people? Your boy Lex, he can't be with you right now. He's currently on a ferry. It's been crazy.
Yeah, but you know the show must go on regardless. You got to find a way. So we got him dialed in, so you can always still hear him. You just can't see him for now. Today we got a very special guest, someone who's doing amazing things and who we're super honored to have on our podcast. He goes by the name Adam. Could you tell them a bit more about yourself, please?
Where do I start?
Who you are, what you do, why you're here.
All right, I'll just start from the beginning then.
Cool.
Okay, so my name's Adam. I work as an interdealer broker. That's basically, we work as an intermediary between investment banks. To put it simple, if you were looking to buy car insurance, you'd necessarily go to confused.com, compare the market. There you'll find loads of car insurers looking to sell. And that's basically what we do. We're in between the banks. The bank A, say Barclays, will come to us and say he wants to buy an interest rate at a certain level, at a certain notional, and we would have to go and find a seller in the market. So we'd have to go and find a different bank, just say maybe Goldman Sachs. Once we've matched the buyer and the seller together, they'll pay us commission. So that's basically what we do. But
how long have you been doing that for?
I've been doing that for 6-7 years now. So it's been quite a long time.
Wow.
But yeah, man, it's been a mad journey for me.
Yeah, so from the 6 years, how did that start? What was your routine?
So I was initially going to go to uni and do post-production.
Mm-hmm.
That was my initial intention.
What's post-production? Like filming stuff, right?
Yeah, filming, editing.
Wow. And you took that route, how?
Yeah, so that was basically what I wanted to do initially. I don't know why I changed my mind, but I thought to myself, let me just go into the city and see what it's like. So I left sixth form, started working straight away at 17.
Working where though? Doing what?
So it's funny, really. I got sold a dream on someone told me about a website called juniorbroker.com when I was in school. And went on there, and basically you could just see all of the job listings. They would have like, I don't know, 100, 200 grand OTE in your first year. Bonuses would be like Rolex watches, holidays. And they're promising that all within your first year of working there.
City life.
Yeah, so obviously as a 17-year-old, you're going to look at that and get a bit gassed, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And so yeah, got sold a dream, went straight into that when I left sixth form. It wasn't what I expected at all. Like,
sales.
Yeah, so I mean, when I heard like stockbroker, this, that, I thought I was going to walk into like a big trading floor, like what I work on now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was expecting, like trading screens, all of that kind of stuff. And it just weren't that. I walked in, it was like a little room. There was about 10 people there. And I at the time, I thought I was in the back office. I thought this was like the little induction.
Yeah.
And then the guy just said to me, all right, here's a script, read this script and dial these numbers.
Wow.
And that was it. That was all the trading I had. So I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't know that's what stockbroking is, but it must be it. You know what I mean? And then very naive at the time. Didn't even get a contract.
Oh, yeah.
No contract, nothing. My mum was even saying to me, like, what do you mean there's no employment contract? I was like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Damn one.
So she was like, oh, you're on some nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that for a little bit. That turned out to be a bit dodgy. They were selling like, not fake investments, they were selling carbon credits, basically. They're real tangible assets that you can trade on exchange, but the level they would trade on that exchange were like maybe 20 cents, 30 cents. And we were selling these credits for like £10 each. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
For sure.
I mean, I was just young, gullible. I just believed whatever they told me. Then when I found out, I left. After that, went to another stockbrokers, but this was more
Legit.
It was a regulated stockbroker,
Okay, cool.
but it was a very similar sales role. You know, you're making 300, 400 phone calls a day.
What did that do for you though? Because after coming out of university as well, I went into a job role where I kind of had to do sales. I kind of shied from it, but like you doing that at such a young age, like what did that do for you? Because now you can you have the confidence, you kind of know how to start a conversation or sell anything to anyone.
Do you know what? Like selling, I've always been selling something throughout my life. Like when I started secondary school, I was going to Costco, buying sweets wholesale and then selling them in the playground. So I've always been on that kind of level. I used to work with my nan in Queen's Market selling jewellery. So I was always used to like face-to-face interactions, selling to people. So when I went into that, it was just kind of second nature. And most things I do in life anyway, I do it 100%. You know what I mean? I give it everything I have. So when I was doing that kind of role, I was the one making the most phone calls on the floor. You know what I mean? I'll be dialing 800, 900 times a day. I'll be getting the highest call time, like 4 or 5 hours on the phone.
So you just didn't care that you didn't know the person, you were just happy to...
I just applied the same like high work rate, and if you do that consistently enough, you should get results. Do you know what I mean? So
for sure,
I've always had that hard, like that work rate. I think that's from growing up, like playing football and that kind of stuff. Like it teaches you that discipline. Do you know what I mean? To work hard. So yeah, I was doing that. Did quite well at it, even though it wasn't great. After that, went to a legit stockbroker. It was the same kind of thing, and then. After a bit of time in the city, I realised the actual direction I wanted to go in. Do you know what I mean? After I realised, okay, I don't want to do this. This is I want to get into institutional side. I want to get into like the investment banking side. But at the time, obviously, it was very difficult without a uni degree to try and get in somewhere. So I'd be applying to places constantly, sending out my CV every day. Got nothing back, and then randomly got a request for an interview from one of the top firms. So in my industry, there are about 5 big firms. Yeah. It's a very small, tight knit kind of job. It's very niche. So like if I left my company, there's only 4 other companies I could go to and do the same thing. You know what I mean? So I got offered a place at one of those. Luckily, it was their grad program and they mixed in grads and non-grads just to have a little bit of diversity. So that was good for me. And yeah, just managed to get in that way.
How old were you then?
19.
Okay.
So I got my foot in the door.
Nice.
Started off as a trainee and then literally doing all the stuff you could imagine like a trainee would do in that kind of industry. Like I was the little bitch basically. I was going out, getting lunches.
Eating shit.
It was, do you know what? It was mad because you go in, right, and it's intimidating. It's a floor full of like loud, like aggressive men.
Jesus.
You know what I mean, yeah, exactly. And it's a different. It's not different, but it's not. It wasn't my kind of environment. Do you know what I mean? So I had to adapt. I had to kind of
play the game.
Yeah, exactly. And it was hard. It was very hard, especially being one of the. I think I was the only black guy on the floor.
Oh wow!
Yeah, one of them ones. So culturally, it's very different.
Yeah,
I mean the banter's different. You got to kind of adapt, try and understand the way other people find things funny. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it was crazy. Like I think on my first week, they said, right, you need to get everyone's lunch. You're not allowed to write it down.
Oh wow! Shit.
So I had to go out and get lunch for about 15 people. Weren't allowed to write it down to remember everything. If you get anything wrong, you get shouted at. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're saying, I wanted ketchup, not barbecue sauce, and throw it at you.
Oh, wow.
Crazy times.
Just like the movies.
Literally just like the movies. But you know what it was? The firm I started at, they were very old school. Like they wanted to keep the traditions. It's not really like that anymore. Like it's changed in the past 5 years. But back then, they tried to keep it as old school as possible. So they were like, right, we'll get all the trainees together. On my first day, they sent us all to the pub and just got us smashed. And I was like 19, like down in pints. Bearing in mind, like I never really used to drink too tough back then. Like, I only started drinking when I was 18. Yeah. Like I literally only started drinking when I was 18. Because throughout all my youth, I was just focused on football. So I weren't really into that kind of stuff back in the day. So it was all new for me at the time. And yeah, did that. I was at that company for a year and put up with a lot of shit. A lot, like you wouldn't believe. You know, I had one of my bosses at the time. He got back from holiday and he had a flat in the city. And he said to me, go and do my laundry. I was looking at him like, what? He was like, yeah, I left all my laundry out and need it done. I was thinking, is he joking? He weren't joking. Like, fully had to go to his flat and do his laundry. And I was like, nah, this is a piss take.
Like, people put it in the washing machine.
Yeah, fully. Like, wait for it to finish, hang it up. Like, proper piss take. Do you know what? Like, there was plenty of times during that year when I was in full trainee mode that I wanted to quit.
What kept you there?
Just the hunger.
Hunger for what though?
Just to want more. Do you know what I mean? Like, nothing's been given to me in life. I've a very humble beginnings. Like, I've had to work for everything. So I saw that as a route to get to where I want to get to. So all of the little setbacks, all of the things that I didn't like, I just thought, you know what? Just take it on the chin, toughen up, get through it, and hopefully things will get better.
Do you think if, say, like, so we got quite a young audience, we have a mixed audience of different ages, but say like they were now graduating, going into the city, do you think it will be kind of the same? Or, because I really wanted to be in the city as well. I know Alex is in the city, but he's more into consulting. Is that kind of how it still is, like where you have to firm a lot of shit just to stick it through till you get to that stage, the next level above?
100%.
Oh yeah?
100%. Well, it depends what industry, of course.
Because a lot of people make it glamorous. I won't lie. A lot of, like, it's very kind of, I don't want to say not ego, but a lot of people who do get into those grad schemes make it sound super glamorous, like we're above everyone else and shit like that. But like, go on.
No, I was going to interject. I guess as a grad, and obviously depending where you are in finance, will depend on how hard they work you. So, for example, a lot of the top banks, right, when you're on a grad scheme, you know, they work you really hard in the sense where you're doing long hours. However, in consulting, you do take a lot of shit from the client, but it's not as aggressive as, you know, getting food flung at you or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, for example, like, so far in my career, I've had a client kind of talk down to me and kind of doubt my intelligence. So you do take shit, but you just need to you have to adapt and overcome. Yeah.
You know what? The way I see it, it's like you've got to just eat shit until you have enough clout. Do you know what I mean? Like, until you've earned enough stripes,
and I think that's in everything as well.
It's like most things. Do you know what I mean? There's no like fast track
for sure
to get into where you want to get to. Do you know what I mean? You've got to go through some kind of hardship. Like, even for me, like that first job that I had, like that for me, that was everything. That was, I'd finally got to the place that I wanted to be at, and I thought, right, I'm going to be here forever, and I'm just going to build my career here. And then after a year, I got sacked. It just got a bit political. Like, we were moving around on different desks, and each desk trades different markets. And then the last desk that I ended up on there, I just didn't get on with the people, and it had been a long year of taking shit. So by that point, I was fed up with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, certain things that I was letting slide, I weren't letting slide anymore. Yeah, so there was just a few things I just weren't letting slide anymore. And then 2-2s, they were like, it's not working out.
Playing the game is so important, man. Knowing how to,
and that's the thing,
adapt and play the game. And
so bro,
key.
I played the game. I played the game all the way through, and then it still weren't enough. Yeah. And these are the setbacks in life. Like, it don't make sense. It's injustice. Do you know what I mean? But you got to deal with it. And then I remember like going home that day, and I was like, what am I going to do now? And at the time I was studying, because you have to do exams for this job. And I was studying for the exams to become a qualified broker. And I got let go. And I remember getting home and I thought to myself, you know what? I ain't going to just wallow. I carried on studying for these exams for a job that I don't even have anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was that focused on where I was going to get to. that I was still carried on. And then I think I spent about maybe a month and a half out of work, and then luckily got a call from a recruiter. He was recruiting for a back office role at my current company. And then I just thought, okay, that's a route in. Do you know what I mean? And then it's funny, the recruiter actually said to me at the time, he was like, okay, you're young, I know you want to be a broker, but when you go to the interview, you tell them you don't want to be a broker because they won't hire you. So I literally had to go there and just say, I don't want to be a broker.
Playing the game once again.
Hate brokers. Like, they look what they did to me at my last place. I got no interest in going back on the trading floor. And then literally I started doing that. When was it? I think it was 2014. And I spent about 2 months in the back office. And don't get me wrong, like it's a good job.
What do you do in the back office?
You're basically support for the brokers. So you do all the reconciliation. So I was doing bond settlement and equity settlement. So when the brokers trade bonds and equity stocks, they have cash deliveries. So it's a physical exchange. So if the bank buys a bond, they're physically buying the bond from us as the broker. Do you know what I mean? And we're physically buying it from the other bank. So there's a lot of cash settlement that needs to be put in place, and that's basically what the back office like you do. And like it's a good job, but it wasn't for me. I'm not the kind of person that would just have a salary and just stick to that. Do you know what I mean? I always try and strive for more. I need that to be motivated. I need it's like a sales role. People thrive in that kind of role that have that cash reward to go after something. So for me, I was like, I need to get back on the trading floor. And then I just kept asking around to see if there was any spaces on any trading desks. Someone said that a junior was leaving on one of the desks. So I waited maybe like an hour after I finished work for the boss on that desk to leave. So I waited for him. And then I waited till he got in the lift. I ran in the lift with him. And then I just pitched him in the lift. Walked all the way to his train station, which was opposite to mine. Pitched him while I was walking. And then by the time I got to his station, he was like, all right, you got the job.
Nice. Hustling smart.
Wow.
That's it. And then the rest is history. And I've been working with that same team now for the last 5.5 years.
Dope.
And
can I just pause you guys there? Sorry, I really want to just dissect a little bit kind of what you've done there, because you spotted an opportunity. You had the confidence to go way outside your comfort zone, even divert your route home, and that you just really laid the focus, and it's like you wasn't gonna stop until you kind of got what you wanted. So I definitely commend you for that. 100%.
For sure.
Nice one, man. Yeah, you know what? It's one of them things I'd say to anyone that's listening, that like, if there's something that you want in life, like just go for it. It don't matter. That the only thing stopping you is you. Do you know what I mean? Most people don't make the leap to do something because they're scared of that's their own insecurities stopping them. But those insecurities are not real. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing that stops a guy walking up to a girl at a bar.
Yeah, there's pictures you paint in your head.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like, the reality is always much nicer than what's in your head.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? So I could have just thought, no, I'm scared to go and talk to him. I don't know him and all this. But you know what? I thought, you only get one chance.
And what do you lose?
It's got nothing to lose.
Everything
to gain. Exactly.
Sure.
So that's just been my approach in everything in life.
That's dope.
And yeah, man, I've just been, as soon as I got a job on that desk, I've got my head down, grafted. And then like I started on that desk when I was 20, going on 21. By the time I was 23, going on 24, I was earning over 100 grand a year.
Oh, wow. Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know why I really like this? Yeah. Because basically, we have, like I said, we've got some young listeners, and a lot of people are kind of like, should I go uni? Do I need to go uni? And like a lot of people who have gone to uni, some have dropped out, but it's like we never hear this side of people who didn't go uni, but still managed to hustle their way in. So I'm super happy to have you here to kind of share this story, because it's super important for people to hear this. Like, uni is a route, and you can also find your own route, like you did. So I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, man, it's something that I wanted to do this anyway, and like mentor anyone that wants it. Do you know what I mean? I get messages all the time on LinkedIn, people asking me for advice, and I always give them the time.
Yeah, amazing, bro.
Because, sometimes you may not think you can because you've not seen anyone else do it.
Exactly.
And I think that's the same thing with a lot of kids in the hood, a lot of kids that if they don't have that person that they've seen, like, raw, you're just like me, and you can go into that world there and thrive. Unless you see it or you know anyone, you're going to think it ain't possible.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're going to think, that life's just for those people over there. Do you know what I mean? You're always going to separate yourself when it's not the case.
Exactly.
In regards to uni, I mean, I would never actually tell anyone not to go uni,
for sure.
because even though I managed to get through, I was also very lucky. There's always an element of luck involved. Do you know what I mean? Like, even for my first job in this industry, it was just luck that that person at the time picked up my CV and put it through. Do you know what I mean? It was luck that they just liked me. They could have disliked me. And if I didn't get that, I don't know what I would be doing. I didn't have anything to fall back on. Do you know what I mean? It was all or nothing for me at that point, because I didn't have that uni degree to fall back on. But I would also say, for any young kids like deliberating whether to go or not, I would say go uni if you have a plan. Like, life's short, man. Like, there's not a lot of time, and you gotta have a plan. Uni's good, obviously. There's a lot of enjoyable experiences, but if you're gonna go just to waste time, you're better off not going and getting your head down and grafting in some kind of field and getting a head start on everyone else.
I get you. Mine was also kind of like just to use that time as well to grow as well. So I guess like it kind of depends. But like you said, if you know kind of what you want to do, or you kind of have an idea, and you like, if you just put your head down and graft, you can probably find a way in the same route and get a head start as well. So like, it's definitely a big decision, and like we've done a few episodes talking about it as well, because it's all relative as well. At the end of the day, whatever you feel,
exactly,
best for you.
Yeah,
well.
that's one thing. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll just say, don't waste the time that you have there if you are at uni. Do you know what I mean? Like, you only get one chance to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want to look back and have regrets. Because at the same time that you're wasting, there are other people out there that are grafting.
Yeah.
And it's like, in my situation, by the time I was like 23, I was an established broker on the floor. And there were uni graduates coming in.
Yeah.
And they're now coming in on a position way below me, but they're the same age or maybe even older.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I do. That's interesting though. So like, listen, you're already 23, earning six figures. Like, for those who don't know, you're actually also a business owner as well. What's the motivation? Like, fair enough, there's abundance and like you can always get more, but with you spending so much time in brokering, like, what made you want to branch out to do your own thing? Like, what was your thought process behind it? Like you said, in school you were entrepreneurial, but
that's it. It's the entrepreneurial side, man. It's always been there. So when I was 21, so literally not even long after I started at the company I'm at now, it was hard. Like, broking is a hard job. It's a very, very difficult job. When you're starting out, especially, it's like a very long road, and you don't know where the road's going to take you. So as a junior, you're sitting there, you're earning not much money. People look at you like, oh, you must be earning loads of money. But when you're a junior, you don't really earn anything. And it's not glamorous at all. And I kind of felt, I don't know if I'm going to really succeed at this. I still weren't sure. So I thought, let me also have a backup plan. Let me build something else. That's probably had something to do with the insecurities I had from losing the previous job as well. But also, I've always been entrepreneurial. So I thought, right, what can I do? And I actually started a gym wear brand back in 2015. 2015, I started the gymwear brand called
How long
Fit,
did you have that for?
called Fit Gymwear. It's still there. The Instagram's
nice.
still there, but I don't. It's not active at the moment. Just because I'm so busy with Beard Gang. But I started that just because I thought, right, it's time to try and build something for myself. I spotted a gap because at the time there wasn't really any independent UK gymwear brands. Like Gymshark was just kind of getting big at that point, but they weren't. It wasn't as flooded as it was now. So I thought, yeah, let me just do this. So here's me earning very little money, going and got a small business loan. I maxed out like 2 credit cards. When I started it, I put myself in about 20 grand worth of debt.
Oh, wow.
And at the time I was only earning like 25 grand a year. So I put myself in a lot of debt to start up this business. It was a huge risk. And at the time, I think influencer marketing was just starting to pop off. So I thought, all right, cool, let me just jump on this wave. And it was very naive of me at the time to think, but this is where I made all the mistakes, which has helped me today. But I just assumed I'm going to just get all this product, design it. Because I went through the full process. I went to like a textile company in London, sat down with designers, got the toils made, we got all the designs, had everything, had the full tech pack. And even that alone was like 5 grand just to have the designs ready to pass on to the manufacturers.
Wait, so what exactly is Beard Gang? Like, is it like an oil, moisturizer? Like, what are you selling basically?
Beard Gang, it's more than that now. It's a
community.
It's a community. That's what it is. It is a community.
When did you start? So how long has it been? Like, what's the time? What was the process like building that community, and what was the time frame as well with it?
After the gymwear business, I realized it's probably not the right market. And that's one thing I would say is, if you don't be afraid to recognize a failure. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people tend to cling on to things. Yeah. And I was clinging on to it for probably too long at the time. But it takes a lot of accountability to look at yourself and say, I've made a mistake here, or this is not working out. I need to do something else. Yeah. So I stopped focusing on the gymwear, was focusing on work, progressed on really well at work, which allowed me to then pay off all the debts and stuff. And then I was in a position started last year, and I thought, right, what can I do? Like, what's the next business? I just finished paying off the massive amount of debt that I was in.
To take someone.
And then instead of thinking, let me just chill now and just focus on, I was like, right, what next? And I was literally just listening to a podcast about business, and they said, okay, look around. Is there anything in your life at the moment that you want or that you need that you don't have? Look around. If there's anything in your life that you need and that you don't have, try and identify it. And at the time, I just started growing my beard and taking it serious. And I tried so many different products on the market. I tried out like Man Cave, like Hawks and Brimble or something like that. I was just going to Boots and just trying them all out. And nothing really worked. They just kept drying out my beard, drying out my skin underneath. I was getting like flakes. It was just... And then I ended up resorting just to using coconut oil from the supermarket. And I was like, this is not a proper product for my beard. I need to... And then it just like hit. I was like, bro, why don't I just make beard oil? And I've always been a big advocate of CBD and hemp anyway, just for medicinal uses. I've been using it for a long time, and I highly recommend it. So I thought I definitely want to incorporate that in the product. And then my group chat with a load of my friends was called Beard Gang Members.
Okay.
Elite. Because we all had beards, and we actually called our Power League 5-a-side team Beard Gang. Okay. So...
Well, beards like this though, because I'm trying to see whether I got any faith or any hope that I can get a beard like you were saying, Carl. I might be in my early days. I need to see what you're working with at my age, you know what I mean?
Well, you can
Am I done for?
Through consistent care, it's all possible, man. And then it just hit me. I was like, right, Beard Gang. And then I spent the whole of last year developing it, trying out different blends, and then October last year I launched it.
Wow. That's crazy.
And it's been, the response has been great.
Amazing, yeah.
It's been really good, man.
Do you think all that kind of lessons from your previous like business, the gym wear and like work as well, has kind of helped you in that sense as well?
In every way, man. Like every failure is just a lesson. Like you only learn when you fail. And I took some big L's. Do you know what I mean? Like getting fired from my first big job, that was a huge L, which I didn't even think I would recover from. And I managed to bounce back from that, but I learned from that experience. And then the gym wear side, that didn't take off how I expected it to. But all of the expensive lessons that I learned going through that process helped me launch Beard Gang almost perfectly. Yeah. Because I knew exactly what to do and I knew what not to do.
Yeah, I saw something today that said failure is failure to not recover, which is exactly like you did. You were able to kind of learn from it and use it as a way to kind of add more to yourself and really kind of sharpen your value as well in that sense. So that's really good. In terms of growing your community, kind of how are you able to go about that? What, like you said, you noticed influencer marketing was working. What was kind of your process in terms of growing your community?
So I've not done any influencer marketing so far. That's not something I've actually ventured into. I mean, I'm looking into it, but because it is a very personal brand, I'm only going to work with the right people. I'm not just giving it out there to loads of influencers to try and push, because I only want people promoting it that I actually fuck with. Do you know what I mean?
Organic.
Exactly. For me, I feel like that kind of influencer marketing is not as effective as it used to be, because as consumers, you're kind of numb to it now. You see an influencer post something, you know they don't even care about it. They know they probably haven't even used it. Do you know what I mean? They just, you know, they've been paid to promote it. So why would you listen to their opinion on it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather someone actually buy it, or I might, you know, if I like someone, I'll send it to them and I'll say, look, just use it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And if you like it, show some love. If you don't, or you don't want to post, then don't post. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'll find other ways to get the brand out there.
Looking at your page, you have a lot of reviews. So is it that type of content that actually showing, like you said, someone will try it out, someone will buy it, and like you get that organic review? Is that kind of a way you were kind of able to grow a community? Because now you have the word of mouth and it being sent out and spiraling out there, like your customers or your sales reps, basically.
Yeah, I think it's just a build up of a lot of things. Like from the jump, I was out there. I put my face on the camera. You know, talking to. Like when you're talking to the camera, you're talking and you promote that video, you're talking to thousands of people. So I felt like that helps. And I've just been out to put myself out there. I've been going to expos. I've been going to, you know, within my first 3 months last year, I went to the Black Investor 360 conference. Yeah, nice. And I pitched. I did the accelerator. And I went on stage in front of, I don't know, maybe 100, 200 people. And then there was a panel from Cornerstone Partners. And they were looking to invest or give a scholarship to their Scale Up program. And that helped a lot. I went on stage, pitched a lot of people, but, you know, you've got an audience of maybe 200 people filming, taking pictures. So that helped get the word out. And it's just been organic. And I think because the product is actually very good, the oil is very, very good and it works, it's just spreading through word of mouth, which is great. So I think that the main thing is if you are starting a brand, just focus on the product. Because if you have a good product and people like it, then you don't have to worry. Like you will. It's just time. It's just time at that point. That's the only thing.
For sure. No, I like you said, you put yourself out there and not really shying away from it. Like I also saw the Breakfast Club as well. Kind of what can we get a quick backstory on kind of that as well?
Again, that's just me being crazy, man. I've been listening to the Breakfast Club more or less every day for the past 4 or 5 years. It's just something I'll listen to like on my way to work. Do you know what I mean? And I love it. I find it very entertaining. And then every morning, so when it starts, they go through like the little morning intro bit, and then they have get it off your chest segment. So callers can call in and just talk shit basically. which is crazy because so many people just call up and just talk a load of rubbish when really you should be using it for something that's going to benefit you, really, because it's such a big platform. So I realised that was a good opportunity there, and I kind of knew what time that segment was, because it was like maybe 10 or 20 minutes after the show actually starts, and then I checked the time, so it was like 6:20 maybe their time. So I waited till maybe it was 11:20 our time, and then I just kept calling. So I spent about 2 or 3 days calling in like half-hour window.
Yeah,
must have dialed about 200-300 times.
I'm just thinking of your phone bill, bro.
Oh, it was crazy. My phone bill was crazy. Like, EE actually called me, and they
Is it you?
and they said like we thought we'd just like call you up to let you know about your bill just in case. and then he was like, I hope you're sitting down. But it was worth it, man.
Yeah.
So I did that. Didn't get through the first day, didn't get through the second day, got through the third day, spoke to Charlemagne and Envy and Angela Yee. And then the response straight after that was crazy. Like as soon as I hung up the phone, it was just like boom, sell. And it was crazy.
Solid,
and then
man.
following went up. And then I called them again in June. No, tell a lie, it was in July, just after my birthday. I called them up again. And I also sent them some stuff as well.
Hustling smart, man. That's what it is.
Again,
Finding
like,
different routes.
do you know what it is? Yeah, like if you want to succeed in life, you got to be able to step outside your comfort zone.
sure.
Because you're never going to achieve anything inside your comfort zone.
Mhm.
So true.
So you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
And most people that are successful in any walk of life have to go through that path. Nobody gets to that path of success by staying comfortable, unless you win the lottery or something. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, you got to put yourself out there.
No, for sure. Definitely agree with that.
No, I was going to say, like, I can definitely testify to the product. Like, the product is amazing. So obviously, myself, I don't really have much of a beard, but ever since using the beard oil, I can just see, like, my hair, much more healthier, and it's actually growing. And where I used to get, like, a lot of ingrown hairs as well, that's reduced, like, significantly. So, I commend the product, and I definitely
No, I'm gonna give it a try, man. Yeah, Alex has been screaming for it as well, and he's like, "Listen, you gotta get this guy on the pod." You know what I mean? So I'm super happy to have you here, man. But just a quick one. Kind of want to just dig a bit deeper in terms of like, what do you have in mind for like Beard Gang members? What's your next step? Also, where can our people find you? How can they support you? How can they kind of join the community and get involved as well?
Plans for Beard Gang. It's a tricky one because I feel like where it's because it's growing, there are so many different avenues to go down, and where I want to make it bigger than just a men's grooming company. I want it to be a brand. There are a lot of different ventures I'm looking into, so I'm not going to reveal everything just yet. To find us, obviously, Beard Gang members.
On all socials.
On all socials. Twitter is actually Beard Gang member.
Okay.
But everything else is Beard Gang members on LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, and website beardgangmembers.com.
Cool. And just, digging a bit more deep on yourself as well, kind of what habits would you say have served you well in terms of like where you are now in business and work? Like, what type of habits have you kind of grown over the years?
Self-development. I'd say that is a huge part of it. You need to put the work in on yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are your biggest investment. And at the end of the day, you need to always be looking to try and improve yourself every single day. So I try and do that. I read every day. I'm always listening to like motivational books or books that I'm going to learn from. And it's just even like Instagram, right?
Yeah.
People don't realize how deep social media actually is. Like, when you're running a page and you're trying to grow an account, like, it's so difficult, and you have to really understand how it all works.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just a platform that people post, like it's so much deeper than that.
Yeah, for
Do you
sure.
know what I mean? And I literally, I went on Apple Podcasts and I just went on every single podcast there was about Instagram and how to grow your accounts and Instagram marketing and all that kind of stuff. And I probably listened to every single episode there was on every single one that was out there. I've literally run out. There's nothing else on podcasts that they can teach me now because I've listened to them all.
Yeah.
But it's things like that. Like you gotta put in the work, and it seems so simple, but over time, it's like compounding.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I say that all the time. Consistency compounds.
Yeah,
that's my favorite saying.
You listen to one podcast one day, then the next day you listen to another one, and it may not seem like much over a week, but over a year or 2 years, every day, like listening to that kind of stuff, your knowledge base just grows, and you don't even realize that you'll be pulling like knowledge out of the air, and you think, well, how did I know that?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? And you just know things, so you just got to always be learning, and whatever field it is, you just got to try and be an expert at it.
Yeah, for sure.
So when it came to broking, I was like, right, I started off as a junior. I made sure I was the best junior there was. Do you know what I mean? Like when you start off, you just do all like the trade inputting. So after the brokers will do the trades, you got to do the tickets. So you got to input all the economic details of the trade into the ticket and send it to the respective banks. And there's a lot of things you've got to fill out and a lot of room for error. Do you know what I mean? So if you make too many mistakes on those things, it costs money. And if you keep doing that, you're going to get sacked.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, right, I want to make sure I'm the best at putting in tickets.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the best one that they've ever had.
Dope.
And that's what I did.
No, that's good.
And then that enabled me to then progress to the next level. And it's the same with social media. I was like, right, I want to start this. I want to grow this account. And I started putting in the work into learning how the social media works when I was focusing on gym wear. So by the time I started off Beard Gang, I already had a lot of knowledge on what things actually work. And I think it's all of that work that I put in beforehand which has helped. Exactly.
Amazing. You also said you're big on mentoring, which is amazing because, like we said, representation and giving back. So, where can our people find you personally as well?
Yeah,
of your social
for all those kind of things, I just think reach out to me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is Adam White Johnson. Just reach out to me on there, and I'll definitely give you the time of day.
Cool.
Because I feel like the reason why we read books is to learn from other people's experiences. Do you know what I mean? Like if you think about someone that's lived a whole life and they write a book, they've got so many experiences and life lessons in there, so many gems that you can pull from. Like why there's no need for you to go through the same mistakes that I went through if I can just teach you before you make the mistake. Do you know what I mean? So
I definitely agree.
I feel like I've had a lot of experiences in my life that I can definitely help other people that want to get into the same kind of industry, or any young entrepreneurs that want to start a business. I'll definitely help and give some valuable advice.
Amazing. And just to wrap it up, we have a word of the week every week, word or phrase. Do you have anything for our people to go and listen to?
Just to interject one more time. Before we wrap it up, like Adam, obviously, because I know you, I know we've only just kind of scratched the surface. So
yeah, man.
Definitely going to need you back shore apart.
For real, man.
Nitty-gritty of like the sort of challenges you experience with Beard Gang.
Yeah, man, trust me.
You've got an array of products as well. So I really kind of want to delve deep into kind of what are the benefits of each product.
Yeah.
But, I'm handing it back to you.
We're a journey-driven podcast anyway, so like we're following your journey as we're growing, you're growing, and we'll definitely keep it going and keep on having you back sharing that load anyway. So
for sure, man. I would say it's just consistency. That's with everything, and even with our products, if you want to have a healthy beard, if you want your beard to grow, just use it consistently, and over time you will see a difference. One of my friends, he literally had hardly any facial hair. For years he struggled, had like bum fluff on his chin, like just little whispers on his cheek. get his barber to try and like shape up something
That
just
was
to
me
make
2
it
years
look
ago.
like.
I'm just a bit more grateful now.
Yeah, and then no lie, he started using the oils at the start of like lockdown. I didn't see him for a few months. Saw him afterwards, and I was like, raw, like he fully, like he had hair on his cheeks, shaped it up. He had a proper beard, like a full beard.
You know what I'm gonna do
crazy.
after this episode. Let's get to work.
So yeah, man, consistency is key.
Amazing. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, man.
Like Alex said, like just scratching the surface. So definitely going to be a part 2 for our listeners. And yeah, just for you to share some more on the beard products as well, because like I know for a fact you're killing it. Like there's enough testimonies out there for it. So just looking forward to that. Just before we go, like always, guys, like, share, subscribe. Hit us up on the DMs if you've got any questions. Email us if you got any questions. We're out on all the platforms, so give us a review. Let us know what you think. And yeah, thank you for listening, guys. So remember, as always, focus on things that move the needle. Wow. Cool. Take care, guys. Till next time.